Right, you lot, and it's time for the best video of the year. It's the lecture tier list. Get in. Now, I've got some really tragic news for you lot. I know you're gonna be in tears after this. Just get your tissues ready. This is the final ever lecture tier list. Oh no, devastating. Cue the sad music. Like it's so tragic, but I'm leaving, so I guess it's not that sad really because I'm out of that place. Anyway, now I'm gonna be honest with you, right? That there weren't as many this year, and they weren't really as good. But you got to keep this tradition going. You know what I mean? So that's what I've done. Now, if this is the first one you've bloody seen, which is a bit stupid, I'd go back to the first one personally. But for the past 4 years, I've been documenting all the ten and off me and my friends get at school. Why? I don't really know, to be honest. It was just kind of funny, and then I just kept it up. And then at the end of the year, I rate these things based on how justified they were. Some of them are so justified, like how we weren't expelled for some of the crimes we committed over the years. I don't know. And some of them, I just question what was the point. Like honestly, what like it's insane. And every year we get classic lectures that are remembered for generations. Like in year eight, remember Hey Lewis, Fat Freddy talking to the Lion King? Oh, they were classics, weren't they? Year nine, we had things like You Should Have Stopped Him and Pretending to Be Sad. Oh, I miss Ian, man. I really do. And then year 10 last year, we had things like that Miss Phillips scandal. That one woman who like scared us, and Ian went on about Kendrick Lamar at some point. I don't know why he did that again. But this year we only got 36. In, for example, in year nine we had almost 70. So I'd say we're improving. However, right, I do need to get this out of the way. This year we were called the best year 11s. Now my theory is they just say this to every group of year 11s to make them feel honoured and great about themselves. But they reiterated this point multiple times. So when you hear some of these crimes we've committed, just keep in mind that we are meant to be the greatest set of year 11s that ever walked Ventures Academy. I still don't believe it. So anyway, let me go over the tiers in case you don't know. So we got top tier. These are the ones that 100% justify. Like we were 100% in the wrong. Had a point on the ones. Yeah, they had a point. It's not quite top tier. I definitely agree with them, but I think we had some point there. It happened on the ones that are just kind of in the middle. Like I don't really care. It just kind of happened. Move on. No point in the ones where like we didn't really have a point, but it's not too bad. Just I'm not too fussed about that. All four of the ones where it's just like that was absolutely dreadful. What was the point? I'm actually annoyed that we were told off for that. And then E. Why do we have a tier called E again? I don't remember. Anyway, and that they're like the worst. They're the ones that just I can't even fathom. That's where things like talking to the Lion King bloody went. Okay, the first lecture of the year is Coco and Ying Ying. Of course it was. Now we managed to actually last a good week into the school year before a lecture this time, which was quite an improvement for us. But there was this famous comedy duo, Coco and Yang Yang, and we would cross across the field to go to the gym. And Luke and Ainsley were so excited to meet this duo that they were shouting, they were banging on windows trying to find this iconic duo like it was bloody Father Christmas or something. I'm sorry, guys, but they had a point. Let's be honest. Like you can't be banging on windows. And the funnier bit was just Ryan just being absolutely fuming the whole time. I've never seen a man show so much embarrassment in all his life since maybe Sam talking with Alana. We'll get to that later. Right, the second lecture of the year is Sam saying the N word. How would you want me to defend this? Do you really want me to come out here and say that Sam was justified saying the N word? Now we had a common room, right? And bloody hell, the common room went for a lot. It was one of the better things this year because it meant that we didn't have to be forced outside in the winter. We had a record player until we didn't. I forgot that on here, by the way. I've just realised that'd be absolutely eat it. And then we had all sorts. We had a lot of fun in that, and for a while the staff would sit outside, and we were trusted in our own safe space. But Sam ruined it for us. Not once, twice. We'll get to that. But what he did was he was very loud. He shouted the N word. Miss Putnam was outside. Comes in, tells us like, "Come on, Sam, man." Okay, the next one was I wasn't born yesterday. Another Putman entry. God, this woman. So Bro was on about how when you're autistic, you can get a provisional driving test early at 16, before 17. Now, not only was Bro right about this, because I've googled this, but Putman was outraged at this. She ran over to his desk. She was in his face, saying, "I wasn't bored yesterday. You're wrong." But she was wrong because I've googled it. So, in my opinion, she's got to be E-tier because she made a big fuss over nothing. Because I think as a teacher, you've got to fact check things before you get in a student's face. So, for me, that's E-tier. Okay, we've got the science ball. Now, a science ball magically disappeared from the science lab into our tutor room. And Kev was fuming about this, but was he? I don't really know. He all sat down. We did some like Inspector Gadget investigation, only to find out McKeely was the culprit. Now, I would say Kev had no point doing this, but I'm going to say it happened because McKeely showed no accountability even when he was caught, really. So I think he's got to be there. But I don't even think Kev was taking it too seriously, to be honest. I think he was more having a laugh. I don't know if it counts as a lecture, really. Okay, next we've got 100. Oh god. Now, getting the maths job at our school was like getting the defensing into dark arts job in Harry Potter. You know, like they always disappear by the end of the year. In year 10, we had one maths teacher that lasted 6 days. And the new maths teacher, Mr. Darnham, well, he left 2 days into the school year. Remember him? And then they brought in a new guy, Mr. Ajay, some guy from South Africa who came in and, well, he was one of the greatest teachers ever. I mean, although he only lasted a term, what a guy, man. And he was very particular about language, so you couldn't say 100, it was 100. And he genuinely had a go at Reese for this. It was awful. Come on, man. Like, 100, 100, who cares? It's not like I feel like there's more important issues that could have, you know, been addressed here. I think maybe this heartbreaking math memory was the catalyst for Reece failing functional skills level 2. I think he must have had that on his mind. Like, he didn't know 100, 100, so that's how he failed, I think. So, right, then we got that was such a funny joke. Now, this was also Reece getting told, poor guy, man. Miss Draper had a go at him because he said to me, not even her, that was such a funny joke, right, get in here. In like, that was such a funny joke. Miss Draper had a go, like, what you doing, miss? Like, you couldn't even last 5 minutes in the school. You disappeared every 6 months and then you left. You're not telling anyone. Ugh. Right, now we got the paper aeroplanes. Now, in assembly, Luke makes his Star of the Week certificate into a paper airplane. Bruh eggs him on to throw it. He does this, they get told off. I mean, I can't really defend you guys. I think they did have a point there. Like, it's not really a great example to be setting as the oldest in the school to all the other classes. Remember, most mature, best year 11s. You know what I mean? Right, then we got beating me up. Sam got told off for beating me up. I'm gonna have to say no point because how many times did they do this? And how many times did they do nothing? So I feel like it's too late almost. So that's why I'm putting in no point. Knife and fork. Oh, this is a classic. So they used to do an award, the champion of the week. I won it once. That was probably the best moment of my life, to be honest. The champion of the week was a trophy that someone would win, and they'd always give the reason at the start for why you won the champion of the week. Like, I don't know. And one of the reasons a kid won it for was for using a knife and fork. Now, obviously, for a kid on the spectrum, he's probably severely autistic, that was a big milestone, but the likes of Reese, Connor Hammond, and Sam and Ainsley, I think, found this hilarious and were hysterical about this. And were kind of laughing, and then Miss Kelly comes over and has a go at them. But somehow Sam dodges the lecture. She tells off the other people and not Sam. I tell you, he's the luckiest man on the planet. I'm gonna have to say, I don't know, it had I think it had a point because like, I understand it's quite a big moment for that kid, and to be laughing at him, it's not very nice, is it? Like, but it was funny. Bloody knife and fork. Right, then we got Stinky Smelly. I once called Miss Leach Stinky Smelly. Remember Miss Leach? I don't. I'm just gonna go. No, it happened because I was a bit rude, wasn't it? But like, okay, next we got morning, morning, morning. Now one of the best parts of the school year was that every day the kiddie would come in and sing a song. Morning, 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 morning. Time to quit your day, so quit some store. No, that wasn't even lyrics. Time to start the day, so quit your store. That was it. And turns out he got this song off Teen Titans Go, which probably ruined it for me. But for a minute, it was brilliant. And one of the kids in one of the other classes complained about the song, and he got censored. That's awful. How can you censor the kid? You know what I mean? Like, He's really quiet. It's not like he's ever loud. Okay, fine. I'll move it up to no point. Okay, right, then we got Nikili picking up paper. I remember Miss Kelly like lost her mind at Nikili picking up paper. I don't remember the context. I'm just gonna chuck it in. It happened. It's not memorable enough. Okay, next we got Tag Team of Satellite. Oh, this is a classic, isn't it? So we're doing a lesson on the planets and stuff in year 11. I know we finally learned where Jupiter and Saturn were. We really need a lot about that one. So, and there's a satellite called Lucy, and out of nowhere, completely under no pressure, Reese just shouts over to Ainsley, let's tag team it. The thing is, if Ainsley would have said this to Reese, or Sam said this, no one would have batted an eye. But because it's Reese, the golden Halo child, who's out of nowhere saying something so vulgar and bizarre, I feel like it's got a. I'm going to put it in it. No, I think Miss Kelly did have a point. I mean, she told us, oh, you got to treat women better than this and all that. And it became really weird. It was like Mr. Cook's play fighting. You know, I'm moving it down just because of that, because I do not want, you know, love advice from someone like her, you know, with the greatest respect. Although she's getting married, so maybe I do. Maybe I'll move it back up actually. Right, right, next we've got Harry Bro. Oh God, don't cancel me for this. Okay, let me try and be so we were having a discussion in tutor one day, and Lily said that Herobrine, the Minecraft like mod villain thing. I don't even know. I don't really play Minecraft. I died to alarm once and quit. It could be real. We all point out the ridiculousness in that Herobrine could be. I can't believe I'm even like saying this. And we did take the mick out of her a bit for it, and she got very upset about this. And then Miss Smith came and told us all off about it. And you know what? I'm gonna say, I can't say awful because we were a bit mean, but then no point because like, imagine if Sam said that he thought like the Ender Dragon was real. They wouldn't, and if Sam got upset about it, I don't think the teacher. I think it is a bit of a bias, a hypocrisy thing. So I think it was, but then we did make someone quite upset. So I don't know. Let me know where you'd put it. I have no idea to be honest. Right, then we got my pencil kit on. Let's just get it in here. So Sam is quite notorious for lying. I did a whole video about it last year, right? And usually Sam is the kind of guy who's gonna brag and go on about how he's gonna do something, only to bottle it at the last minute. For example, he went on about how he was gonna beat up the parents at the Leaders Assembly. When we finally got there, he put his phone in front of his head, hiding from them when they walked in the room. So we thought, right, he's dangling my pencil case out the window and saying he's going to throw it. And I go downstairs with Reese and Ryan because we're like, well, he's not going to do it, is he? And then we come up and he's still dangling it there. And he actually drops it and chucks it out the window. Now, the problem with this lecture, right, as much as it is top tier, is that we all got banned for a week in the cold. This was like December time. So we were all outside in the really cold. Sam took his shirt off outside as well that week. That was mental. So they handled it poorly. So I'm actually going to move it down to had a point. No, I'm going to keep it there just because it's Sam. But I do think the handling of the lecture could have been done better because I don't think we all deserved it. Especially me. I was literally a culprit. I was a victim, and I got punished. Imagine that. Like someone goes to court for like sexual assault. Like you know the people like Andrew Tate human trafficked or something. Imagine they get like bloody caught as well. It's mad. Okay, next we have got the Andrew Tate quote. Talking of him, I didn't do that on purpose, I promise. So Luke and Ainsley sent an Andrew Tate quote to Miss Kelly, and they obviously got told off for it. And this happened, by the way, on the same day that Sam Chip was going to go out the window. So again, best year 11. Now, their argument that they made was that if they sent anyone else the quote, it would have been fine, and that what's Andrew Tate done. I don't know why they keep the Andrew Tate, but my point is right. Like it's Andrew Tate. That's why they're moaning. He's a misogynistic, guy who's literally been done for rape and human trafficking, and you're sending a quote to a teacher. Like it's it's top tier. I'm sorry, it just is. I'm not defending that. Okay, next we have blowjob. Sam went on about blowjobs in broad daylight, and the teacher's rightly said, like, mate, we know what you're doing. So they had a point there, didn't they? Okay, next up we got the Kev Miss Morgan fabrication. I don't even know if this counts as a lecture, but we were bullying Miss Morgan, basically saying that she was pregnant. I don't remember why we were saying that, to be honest. I think it became a bit of a running joke for a little bit, and then they did a whole thing and pretended that she was really upset and crying in the staff room. And then she came in and broke character in like 2 seconds. E tier, because her acting was on par with like the characters of Mrs. Brown's Boys. So I feel like that was a bit of an L from her, to be honest. Okay, we got Stop Farting. I can't believe that's a real lecture. So I think Luke and Ainsley were doing like the hand fart thing. They did this a lot, and then Miss Kelly told them to stop farting. Right, moving on. Right, then we got the death of Miss Leach. Sam wrote a story about the death of staff member Miss Leach, and like, what went through his head is my first thought. Like, what I do question this with Sam a lot of the time, a lot of his crimes, and I'm doing a whole other video on his crimes. What was the motivation here? What did he think was the best outcome from doing this? I'm gonna have to say it was top tier, because Sam had no common sense there. He really didn't. All right, we got misogyny part a million. I think Luke said something misogynistic to Miss Morgan, and then she phoned his mum. I don't remember what went on. I think he said something about the maths teacher. I mean, I don't really like Miss Sharon, to be honest, so I'm just gonna have to put it in no point. Right, then we got counting. Oh, this is a classic. We got another Luke one here. So me, Luke Ainsley, and Bruh were in a team for this money thing. The whole thing was like how kids and adults spend and use money. We had to all do a PowerPoint about it, and turns out only me and Ainsley actually took the task seriously, because Bruh was too busy talking about stealing from your granddad, which was not a great look. And then on Luke's one, he put a way that kids make money is through counting lines, and his point was, well, that is a way that they do. Like, it's factually proven. Like, kids do make money through counting lines. And then Mrs. Point was a bit more like, well, yeah, but you can't really promote that in like, this is a qualification. I just want to see the examiner going through that PowerPoint. I'd love to see like if the answer thing actually gets sent off and someone saw the PowerPoint that he did and the PowerPoint that Brad did, because they were funny. So I'm just gonna have to put it in it happen, because I kind of agree with both of them. I think they both make a good argument, and it was one of the funnier lectures of the year. So I'm just gonna stick it there. Okay, we got strangling. I think Sam was strangling it. Just move on. Oh god, another Sam one. We got Sam losing in PE, no, being stroppy in PE, despite being on the winning team. So I think Sam was being too violent, and Mr. Tier told him off and gave a free kick, and Sam heavily disagreed with this and was really moody and stroppy and was in a proper strop the rest of the day, and then claimed he wasn't. I just think it's embarrassing. You're on the winning team and you're still moody as hell. So I just think 100% probably top tier, to be honest. I think that's just insane. Okay, another top tier one here. Zion's humiliation. So it's bloody 8:20 in the morning, I think it is, and then we hear the fire alarm. And it's Monday morning. The last thing you want to hear on a Monday morning is the bloody fire alarm. So this was like November. No, it wasn't. It must have been January. I think January, February sort of time. Yeah, term 3. So we all hosed outside, and we think they're doing like a fire drill. My thought was like, well, a fire drill could happen at any point in the day, and like fires are random, so they're doing it at the most random time to prove the point. No, it could happen at any point. But it turns out no, Zion pulled the fire alarm, and he got outed in front of the whole school. Mr. Williams even brought the police in and everything. And you know what? That might be the single most embarrassing moment in the history of Venturers Academy, because you got outed in front of the entire school. That's awful. He got outed in front of the entire school. Like, how do you come back from that? And he did, and he didn't really change really hard. So I I don't know. So it's got to be there. Okay, we got crippled, and I'm gonna have to put this in awful because of delivery. So basically, Miss Putman was like saying you can't call someone crippled, but she was laughing about it. Like the whole thing was just funny, and it was. I don't know. I'm just scraping for numbers here. But I feel like if you're going to be doing a lecture, you can't be laughing at your own point. You can't be disagreeing with your own lecture. So I think you've got to be to the point, and I feel like she failed on this front. So yeah, right. We got injecting piss. Right. So a teacher overheard us glazing roofs, and well, we glazed roofs in some of the more bizarre ways, and that was definitely on the top of the list of the most bizarre ways we did so. And for me, I mean, how can you defend that one? Like, and then Kev told us off. And the funniest part of the whole thing was how to like straight face he was. Like, if I was a teacher, I guess I wouldn't be as mature as he was, but if I had to say that out loud, it'd be a very like it'd be hard to keep a straight face. And he kept so much composure, so I have huge respect for Kev in that moment. Right, then we got Dylan with the stick. Oh god, yeah, when Lily was playing with the whiteboard stick, handed it to Dylan last minute, and Kev comes in and tells him off. That was like sitcom timing. I'm just gonna put it in. It happened because I don't really think that Dylan was doing much wrong. But the whole thing was like a pantomime. It was too funny, yeah. All right, then we got the return of Miss Fletcher. So remember that woman who told me off for saying Fat Freddy? He was like the best TA ever, but we didn't notice at the time until she was gone. Right, that's what it's like in life. You don't realise what you have until it's gone, do you? And then Miss Fletcher returned. She was quite the moment. Snagged us off a lot. Told a lot of tales about Noah. Good day all in all. And then we got her to tell us one last lecture, and she told us to like have boundaries with each other and be nicer to each other. Only for a few weeks later, Sam to get punched. So we clearly listened to her words. So to be honest, Miss Fletcher, you've got to be an E tier. Sorry, mate. Right then we got the Ryan punching scandal. This is going to need some backstory. So Sam it's Friday night and Sam is feeling freaky, so he hits up Ryan's girlfriend of the time and starts bullying her for no reason really, but besides I don't know his own laughter, and he kind of just got humiliated, to be honest. Like both him and her just destroyed him. He lost twice in the same night, and then he kept going. And then on Monday, we kind of said to Sam, we should probably apologise to Ryan for what you did because you, well, it was just a bit unneeded, wasn't it? And then he stands up in front of everyone and he starts going, I did nothing wrong. I'm innocent. What did I do? It's half-ass shit. And then Ryan goes over and punched him and his jaw starts bleeding. Sam's crying. Well, he says he wasn't crying. And then the whole thing got settled in the afternoon with Sam giving the most half-assed sorry I bloody ever heard. So I this is complicated because like it's always the argument of like violence should never be the answer, and I do agree that. But then I think Sam needed to be told like he needed a reality check. I feel like, and he would never have stopped, and he probably would have done it again if that didn't happen. So I think Sam probably did deserve it, but then you shouldn't really. I'm just going to put it happened because it's kind of a morality thing, and I think everyone's going to have a different tier they put it in. But then actually, the actual lecture, I forgot. We're not rating the scandal, we're rating the lecture. I'm gonna have to put the lecture in awful because we all got banned again, and none of us were involved, bar them two, really. I guess being reached to an extent because we were in the call with Sam on the Friday, but I think they didn't pick a side. They punished it was just, and they didn't really understand a reason. Like it was just bad. Okay, welcome back. Nikili said, "Welcome back to Kevin." He had a go at him. Just getting here. I don't know if he didn't have his Cocoa Pops or something. I don't know what was up with him that day. Right, not good enough. Miss Putman's back. Of course, she is. This woman, she's the new Ian. Except Ian was at least funny. Um, she told Ryan he's not good enough once. That's awful. Like, That's such a horrible thing to say in an autistic school to a student. I can't believe she actually said that. So yeah, I can't really defend that. Okay, holding. We got a few more to go here. We got holding hands next, and basically Luke and no, not Luke and Ainsley, bloody Brian Ainsley. Sorry, wrong famous duo. Brian Ainsley like always hold hands. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on there. I'm not going to question it. And Miss Humphreys had a go at them. How dare you, Miss Humphreys? E tier for me. Okay, next we got the pigeons. So we went on a Hamilton trip. We had lunch, and there were pigeons, and Luke kept throwing sticks and stones at these pigeons for no reason really. And Dan tried to tell him off, but I don't really think it was getting to his, any of it was getting to his head. And then the likes of Bruh and Sam got involved because of course they did. And to be honest, I'm gonna have to put Dan Bartlett in E tier here. Like he's statistically the best ever lecture giver. Like he gave the best lecture ever in year 8, but mate, you couldn't stop them. You kind of gave up. So I feel like if you're doing a lecture, you've got to make an impact on the students. You've got to make sure it doesn't happen again, and that just didn't happen. So I think he failed, to be honest. So right now we've got I'm Not Like Everyone Else Part 50. I've kind of grouped all the Kevin Lily battles together. It's like watching Team Rocket versus Ash and Pikachu. That is, I'm just gonna chuck it and had a point and move on. Right, then we've got the poor board. What was the context here? I think someone punched the board, I think, and Kev cared more about a board than a student. I don't remember the whole thing, but it was just once again a great I'm gonna have to put that in no point. It was a great example of the school care more about inanimate objects and students. That was quite funny. All right, then we got foot fetish. I'm not joking. Miss Humphreys actually said, "Sam, have you got a foot fetish?" Because Sam was like stealing people's shoes. He chucked Bro's shoes across the forest, and then we got Sam back a week later. I feel like if you're a teacher and you're telling someone off for having a foot, like that's just not appropriate, is it? It's just not like that's just not what you say, especially the lecture. So it's got to be there. All right, now finally the last ever lecture in VA. Which remember it was just Sam kicking Liv and then get told off for it. I mean, Sam just like it's very poetic that he's the last lecture. I'm just sticking at a point because he never learns. Like he never ever learns, and I think that is the key issue with Sam. To be honest, the accountability, growth, maturity, it's never there with him. So yeah, that was the final ever lecture tier. So I'd say probably the most top tier lecture. Let me have a look. It's got to be Zion, hasn't it? Hasn't it? All the injecting piss, and then the worst lecture of the year. It's got to be Dan Bartlett with pigeons. He just folded so bad, or that was such a funny joke. So yeah, that was. I'm gonna do another lecture based video. I'm gonna do a tournament of all of the years and get the 32 best lectures and find out what was the worst lecture of all time in the school. So that's really exciting. I'm also doing another tier list of the crimes of Sam. I'm gonna rate them based on how bad it was. So yeah, that'll be fun. So I'll see you lot soon. I hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.